Before every intro call, I spend 10 to 20 minutes Googling the company and scrolling LinkedIn to figure out who I'm talking to. So I decided to see if I could automate all of that. In less than 10 minutes, I built an AI agent to do the research for me. Here's how I did it and how it went. So I used Relevance AI to build my agent, and I'm just going to select on New Agent here. And the easiest and fastest way to build an agent inside of Relevance AI is using their invent feature. So this is where you give the agent a prompt and you tell the agent what you want it to do. You want to be as specific as possible here. So I would even think of it as if you were telling a new employee or a new team member what they need to do. And you can even use AI to optimize your prompt. So what I would do first is basically write ideally what you would want your agent to be able to do. And then you can even feed it into ChatGPT, for example, and ask it to help you optimize your prompt for AI. So I'm just going to copy and paste my prompt here. You can see mine is, when a new deal is created in Attio, research the associated company and contact to prepare me for the discovery call. Provide a concise, skimmable overview with the following sections. Use bullet points, max 2 to 3 per section if data is unavailable, right, not found. Company, industry size, recent news, notable context, contact, role responsibilities, decision-making influence, tech stack, any indications of CRM, marketing, or workflow tools in use, likely challenges, pain points tied to their role in common industry trends. So this is a pretty strong prompt in my opinion. Now, what you might want to do as well, if you're creating this for yourself, is give the agent some context on who you are and your company so that the insights that it gathers make sense for you and is relevant for your company and what you do. So I'm just going to click on Start. And now you can see it's building here. So it's preparing the request for the inventor, sharing with inventor, and now we just need to wait a couple of moments. So here's the first version of our agent, Dexter, the deal research agent. So it gives you a summary of what Dexter does, the instructions you've provided, and the steps it will take to complete the task, and the tools that it's going to use as well. So you can add tools, you can remove tools. You'll see here, tools. All of these are our tools. If for some reason, you're not interested in top industry trends, you can always remove that tool here, delete, or, disable, for example. And then it also shows you the output format. So how it's going to look when it generates some results. You can also add knowledge here, so you can add documents from your Google Drive, Notion, for example, or upload documents here to give your agent more context so that, of course, it provides better results. But we're building an agent here in less than 10 minutes, so I'm not going to do that in this case. And now you can give your agent a task. And now this can be kind of like a test run. So you can see what sorts of results or insights it produces. And if they're what you're looking for, then you can move on to the next steps. If not, then you need to go back in and improve your prompt. Likely you need to just make it more specific or give it more, detailed instructions. So I can say, here, can you do research on Revautex.com? I'm just going to use myself as an example. And now it's spinning up an instance, researching Kayla Revautex contact. So let's see what it comes back with. And the first time I ran my agent, it gave me pretty inaccurate results. It didn't give me the right company description. It said it couldn't find the person on LinkedIn, but I was able to easily find that person on LinkedIn, and they actually had a pretty big following. But the second time that I ran it, it produced really, really strong results and everything was very accurate. So again, just keep that in mind that sometimes you do just need to change your prompt or try actually running the agent and just seeing how it goes. Okay, so Dexter provided an update, and I pretty much used the same prompt that I did with the actual agent that I created just a few days ago. So yeah, it looks really good. It tells you the tools that it was able to use. It wasn't able to retrieve website tech data, which I'm not super surprised by with my website specifically. And then it gave me a company overview, contact info, tech stack, and likely challenges, which is exactly what I asked for. And honestly, I read through this and it looks extremely accurate. I mean, it is about me, so I know exactly what's true, what's not. And it looks great. And even the likely challenges like scaling consulting operations, keeping up with evolving CRM, automation tech, that's all super accurate. Those are all very real challenges in the industry that I work in. And then it gives me the list of sources. So where did it find all this information? I would say it didn't find, that I have a YouTube channel, for example, but it did a great job at, summarizing who I am and my company and my website. But yeah, it might miss kind of those additional pieces, but that's all kind of expected. And I mean, we literally just did this in a few minutes. So yeah, it looks really good. So now Dexter is up and running and we can start using Dexter for our research. However, you're probably thinking, well, this is great and all because I can prompt Dexter and tell Dexter what to do, and it does perform the tasks I ask it to do. But how do I get this to run automatically? I mean, that's kind of a key piece of having an AI agent in the first place. You want it to be autonomous and you want it to be able to perform these tasks without needing much intervention from your end. So I'm going to go back into the agent that I built and that I'm actually using, which is Prepper the Meeting Research. So one thing I had to do was add an additional tool. So I use Attio as my CRM, and I wanted to create a note with the insights and the findings that it generates. And I want that note to be automatically created on the right person's record. I don't want to have to come back into Relevance AI and look for the findings and then go back into Attio and go back into Zoom, so on and so forth. I want it to all be in one system so that when I'm looking to see, oh, I have an intro call coming up, let me look in Attio. Oh, here this person is. This is the summary of what they do and what their company does. And it's just very seamless and very easy for me because I live in Attio. Now, it's pretty simple to add this tool, and obviously if you're using a different CRM or different system, you're going to have to look for that tool and connect it. But basically I just had to connect my account here. I had to input the parent object that it belongs to, the parent record ID, and the note title, so what I want the note title to be and what the content of the note should be. So that's that. Now, the other part of it is how do I initiate the AI agent? How do I prompt the AI agent automatically without having to go into Relevance AI and telling it, hey, I have an intro call coming up. Please do research on X, Y, and Z. So I created a workflow here in Zapier so that anytime a new deal is created, it looks for the person that's associated with the deal, and it looks for the company that's associated with the deal. And then it prompts the agent. So it messages the agent, and it tells the agent, hey, go do research on this person. And then the agent is prompted, and it starts generating those insights. Okay, so you can see here the task was initiated, and it did work. And I love the insights it generated. I'm reading through this, and I think that my prompt might have been even a little bit better here for some reason. Honestly, the littlest change in a prompt can make a huge difference, so just keep that in mind when you are coming up with your own prompts. I love how it mentions my content creation. I was mentioning earlier in the video that with the agent that I created on this video, it didn't mention that. And I love this conversation starter section. I think it's really helpful to guide you in a call and just give you some ideas of what to ask beyond, the general questions that you typically ask on an intro call. These questions make them feel like, hopefully, that you've done some research and you have some background knowledge of who they are and what they do. And I think that's really important in an intro call. So yeah, now let's go back into my record that I created here and see if it created a note. Okay, so here is the deal. I'm going to click into that, and I'm going to click on associated people because my note should be living on the person's record. That's just how I set it up. And now you can see here, notes, meeting prep, Kayla Campos, Revautex, and it came in via Pipedream. So that's what Relevance AI uses. And if I click on the note, looks pretty good to me. So it gives me, a background on the role, responsibilities, career background, all that stuff, key products and services, some meeting prep, potential talking points, so on and so forth. Now, you might notice that this note looks a little bit different than what it generated here. And the reason for that is because in my Attio Create Note tool, I let the agent decide the content of the note. Now you can just change that and set it manually so that it's super consistent and it only pulls in what it generated here, because maybe I don't really need all this additional context. This might be enough for me. And now another thing to note here too is that it basically thinks that I work for Relevance AI because I didn't give the agent any context as to who I am and what my company does. So I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but that's really important. You do want to give the agent that background, and I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, like I said, if you don't do that, it's just going to assume that you work for Relevance AI, and the areas of alignment aren't going to be very accurate. So there's some kinks that you'll need to work out as you're building this, but I think this is a very easy way to at least get started. Now, you can get a lot more complex, a lot more advanced than this, but this is a nice way to get started with a basic agent that can perform some basic but useful tasks. If you found this video helpful or interesting, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have questions or want to explore what automation could look like in your business, drop a comment or book an intro call with me. My link's in the description.